Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin investing because this is something I don't talk about a lot on the channel. You guys know I do a lot of shorter-term technical analysis on Bitcoin, and you guys do really enjoy that, but it is very important that we zoom out sometimes and look at the longer-term markets and talk about Bitcoin investing because it's important to differentiate the act of Bitcoin trading. That's what's going on down here inside these weekly charts. We're doing our day trading or intraday trading, maybe even a little bit of swing trading, and then you want to differentiate that between your Bitcoin investing. Because in today's video, I want to make the point that you don't make money when Bitcoin is in a bull market. You actually make money when Bitcoin is in a bear market. Guys, we have a lot to get to in today's video, and I really think we have a good one lined up. So if you enjoyed today's video, definitely consider dropping a like, hitting that subscribe button, and smashing the notification bell, guys. It does help out the channel if you do it, and I would be appreciative if you did it. But without much further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. We'll do a tiny little bit of short-term TA on Bitcoin today, but I mainly want to talk about the long-term stuff. Bitcoin on Coinbase is trading around $3,890 or so. As we can see here, Bitcoin broke out of this little consolidation pattern here, barred right back up, and has actually been moving into an opening ascending trading channel right here. It's a very interesting pattern. You don't see this pattern show up very often. We're going to talk about what's going to happen with that in the next day or two, so I'm going to leave that for the next video, but definitely something interesting to watch out for. If we look at volume here, for example, volume hasn't really even fallen off with this. It normally doesn't with trading channels, but that might be indicative of some kind of breakout. Very interesting stuff indeed. Anyway, let's go ahead and go back out to Brave New Coin Liquid Index and talk about the longer term for Bitcoin. There's a point that I want to make here at the outset of the video that I've made before, but I need to make it again to build this argument. And that is, you probably heard me say this before, that markets are cyclical. Guys, I keep saying this. I've said this in several videos. In fact, I just recorded a video for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy that will be going live on Wednesday, that we talked about where markets are cyclical. So this is something I've been talking about a lot up here on YouTube and behind the scenes in CT2A. But I want to make that point again. Markets are cyclical. Back over here in 2013, we saw Bitcoin was very bullish. It's very easy to see this on the weekly chart. After that, for 2014, Bitcoin turned bearish. Bitcoin went into a bear market. Then in 2015, Bitcoin was in this transition period. And then for 2016 and 2017, Bitcoin was very bullish. Bitcoin went on a major rally. We saw Bitcoin run from around $150 or so all the way to $20,000. From there, we've seen Bitcoin take a downturn and move into its bear market. And after it broke $6,000, Bitcoin has basically been trading sideways down here around $3,000 to $4,000. Markets are cyclical. What goes up must come down, and in the case of markets, what goes down must also come up, or at least it normally will. Not always, depends on the market, depends on the fundamentals, but normally markets will come up so long as the fundamentals are all right. And Bitcoin's fundamentals have never been stronger, so we don't have to worry about that. The point I'm trying to make is that a bull market is going to come. It's going to come eventually. It might not come in the next month. It might not come in the next 6 months. It may be not even coming in the next 12 months, although like I said in a previous video, I give it like a 95 to 99% chance that we see confirmation of a bull market starting in the next 12 months. I think one is coming. So what I'm trying to encourage you guys to do is to look at investing, because a lot of people that watch these videos, you guys are probably intraday traders. You guys do a lot of swing trading, maybe even. Tell me in the comment section down below what intervals you trade on most. Do you trade on the minute chart, the 5-minute chart, the 45-minute chart, all these charts up here? Do you do most of your trading on the hourly or the 4-hourly chart? Are you doing a bunch of your trading on the daily chart? I'd be very interested to hear what kind of intervals you guys are trading on. But based on the kind of content I make, I kind of get the feeling that a large portion of you guys are traders and short-term traders. So I want to talk about Bitcoin investing here because it's not important that we just trade. It's important that we also invest. I have an investing portfolio and I have a trading portfolio. Those two are completely separate. I don't let the two touch. Never shall the two touch. We see that I put money into my Bitcoin investing portfolio and I leave it in there. I never touch it. It doesn't go anywhere, and I never sell that. I will be selling that when Bitcoin's up around like $200,000 or $300,000 in a couple of years. I'm not selling that. And I also have my trading portfolio that I do trades with, of course. Those two are different. It's very important that you guys trade and invest, and this is one of the things I want to talk about in this video, is the difference between trading and investing. Trading happens on these smaller term time frames, on the 4-hourly, the hourly, then these minute charts, and investing you really start to see happen out on the daily, the weekly, and the monthly chart. And one of the reasons I'm talking about this is because for the first time in a very long time, and by a very long time, I mean the last 3 or 4 years really, Bitcoin is looking at one of the best opportunities to be investing that we've seen in a long time. I'm going to turn the log chart on here to make my point a little bit easier. So we can see right here, Bitcoin has retraced 85% from all-time high, guys. Right around there, around 80% right now, around 83% from all-time high. Bitcoin has been retraced from all-time high that much before. The last time it was retraced around 85% from all-time high, we saw that that was the bottom of this bear market back over here in 2014 and 15. Bitcoin retraced that much, and we saw a major Bitcoin bull market follow it. I think the same thing is going to happen. But guys, the last couple of times that we've seen Bitcoin be that far retraced from all-time high, 85% was right over here. Guess how much money people made that bought in over here. If you were one of the people that were around during this market back over here when Bitcoin was in accumulation back over here in 2015, tell people in the comment section down below either how much money you made, or I mean, you don't have to put numbers on it, but give them an idea. How much money there was to be made, or if you didn't invest back then, how much money you wish you had have made. Tell people in the comment section down below how much money there was to be made back there, because I'll go ahead and show it to them. That was around a 9,000% increase. That is a lot of money. Let's go ahead and do that where you can actually see it. Around a 9,000 to 10,000% increase depending on where you take your bottom, depending on where you were investing. That is a lot of money. That is a life-changing amount of money with not a very large investment. That's the power of Bitcoin investing, especially investing in such an early market like Bitcoin back over here in 2014 and 15. Now, I'm not saying we're going to see 10,000% returns on this bout of Bitcoin investing, but the point I want to make is that we are in the same period right over here as Bitcoin was in over here. These are basically identical. Of course, there's a chance that we've talked about in previous videos that Bitcoin breaks support and starts heading lower. But even if Bitcoin does that, it's still a great time to be investing in Bitcoin because one, we're so far away from all-time high. Two, the fundamentals are so good. And three, we're basically sure that a Bitcoin bull market is going to come eventually. You can rest pretty assured that Bitcoin is going to see returns if you buy right here. Now, I'm not saying don't be careful. I'm not saying don't use stop losses. I'm not saying don't do short-term technical analysis. I'm not saying don't look at the 200 weekly moving average, for example, and be careful of Bitcoin falling below that and maybe having a stop below that. I'm not saying don't have a stop at $3,000 in case Bitcoin goes below that. My point is here is that you want to be looking to invest as well as trade. It's very important that you have those two portfolios because one thing I saw a lot of people saying they wish they hadn't done when Bitcoin was running up to $20,000. I got in the market about like 2/3 of the way through the bull market, so I didn't have this much pain. But I saw a lot of people in this time period over here when Bitcoin was running to all-time high that had been doing nothing but trading. I saw a lot of people, they were doing YouTube videos talking about this. They'd been doing nothing but trading. They were trading every single day. They were trading, and sure, they made a ton of money. But when they looked back on it and they realized that they've been in the market since back over here in 2014, they looked back and they did the math and they said, well, heck, if I had just bought the amount of Bitcoin that I had put into Bitcoin over the course of these 3 years back over here in 2015 and not touched it and not traded 4 hours every day, every single day for 3 years, I would have made even more money because investing a lot of times, is, unless you were an amazing trader, a lot of times investing, especially in an early market like Bitcoin, will bring equal or even better returns than your trading. It's important for you to trade because you need to hone that skill. There's a lot more money that you can make trading. It's a lot easier to make money quicker trading, especially if you're trading in the right markets and you're doing it the right way. That's why I made the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. It's important to trade. It's also important to have an investing portfolio. And that leads me into the last point that I wanted to make in today's video, and that is that you don't make money in Bitcoin bull markets. You don't make money when Bitcoin is rallying. Now, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. What do I mean? You don't make money when Bitcoin is running. You don't make money in a bull market. What are you talking about, Jeb? Every time a bull market comes, everybody's buying Lamborghinis, popping champagne corks. They're living in mansions on the beach with a bunch of girls in bikinis. Everybody's having a great time during a Bitcoin bull market. What do you mean people aren't making money during a Bitcoin bull market? You're out of your mind, Jeb. Well, I don't think so, although I've had that told to me several times before, so maybe you've got a point. But you don't make money in a Bitcoin bull market. And the reason you don't make money in a Bitcoin bull market is because it's very simple, guys. How are you going to make any money when Bitcoin's a couple days away from hitting $20,000? There's no margin here. There's no room for you to have bought your Bitcoin to rally. You make your money in a bear market. Guys, you don't make money in a bull market. You make your money in a bear market, especially when we're talking about investing, which is the main point of this video. You make your money down here. You don't make your money up here. You make your money down there. Let's go back to the log chart because it's a little easier to see. Oh my gosh, what happened to our arrow? I don't know, this guy, okay, we're gonna have to delete him. You don't make your money up here. That's not where you make your money. You make your money down here. And why do you make your money down here? Because this is where you buy. You can't sell Bitcoin that you don't have. It's not shorting. You can't sell your Bitcoin and make a ton of money if you don't have the Bitcoin in the first place. Now, of course, you can short in a bear market. Now, we're not talking about shorting. Of course, shorting is a very good way to make money in a Bitcoin bear market. But talking about investing, it's kind of hard to invest through a short. If you're talking about investing, you make your money down here because you got to buy that Bitcoin. When you're buying Bitcoin down here at $200, and then you sell it later on for $20,000. You made a 10,000% return. You're very happy with yourself. But if you hadn't have bought the Bitcoin down here, and you hadn't invested in Bitcoin, an early asset like Bitcoin that had a lot of room to grow, if you hadn't have made that early investment with no guarantee of return, by the way, a lot of people get caught up in that. They're like, oh, well, I could buy a bunch of Bitcoin, or for example, another thing, I could buy a bunch of Bitcoin, I could buy a bunch of Ethereum, I could buy a bunch of Litecoin, or, you know, I could put 10,000 hours into building a business and I have no guarantee of return. Well, you know, there's a life lesson that I think many of you guys probably already know, but for those of you who don't, sometimes you have to do things with absolutely no guarantee of return anyway, just because you think there might be a chance that you're going to get some kind of return. I'm not saying buy into a market that's highly volatile and perhaps has a really low chance of being successful. I'm not saying to go put your life saving in penny stocks or bone density scanners. If you get that reference, leave it in the comment section. I'm not saying to go put your life savings in a stupid investment, but what I am saying is that you need to be very aware that there is going to be a lot of time between you buying Bitcoin or you investing in that new startup business or you spending money on some kind of investment and you getting that return. There's going to be a long tail to that. You have to be able to delay gratification and put off the Lamborghinis and popping champagne corks and everything till a couple years from now when Bitcoin is rallying beyond $20,000, when Bitcoin's away from this accumulation and away from this bottom and actually moving to the upside. Because you don't make your money up there, guys. You make your money down here because you got to buy the Bitcoin before you can sell it. I think you guys get my point in this video, so this isn't going to be a very long video, but I did want to talk about Bitcoin investing. And one of the main reasons I want to talk about it is that even though there's a half decent chance that Bitcoin falls below $3,000 right here, of course I haven't put a percentage on that, but even though there's a half decent chance that Bitcoin falls below here, as I've talked about in previous videos, Bitcoin's actual value, a lot of people call it the underlying intrinsic value, that's what I call it, is way up here. It's way through the ceiling. Bitcoin's underlying intrinsic value. I've seen a lot of people try and calculate it, and I've seen calculations roughly something like that, where Bitcoin's intrinsic value is up there, Bitcoin's below it, then we got to run up to here. That's what I've been talking about ever since the beginning of this bear market. I've been talking about how Bitcoin's going to approach the underlying intrinsic value, and then go below it, and then as it corrects, it's going to start to turn around, and then it's going to start moving back up towards it, and then in 2020, 2021 or so, we're going to see Bitcoin get back to it, and Bitcoin's going to be worth tens of thousands of dollars again. And I've also talked about the fundamentals being very bullish for Bitcoin. Everything for Bitcoin in the long term is looking very good. Even though Bitcoin may fall below here, guess what? This is just another time to be buying a bunch more Bitcoin, guys, because like I said, you make money in a bear market, you don't make money in a bull market. If Bitcoin falls again, don't get scared. Don't get worried. Use it as an opportunity. Buy a ton of Bitcoin if you feel like it's the right thing to do. I'm not going to tell you to buy Bitcoin, just buy Bitcoin. I'm going to say if you think it's the right thing to do, then sure, go ahead, buy Bitcoin. If you've done your technical analysis, if you're comfortable in that investment, I think right down here around $2,000 is a much better place to buy Bitcoin than at $20,000. You tell me what you think. Anyway, guys, that's not financial advice. But also, anyway, guys, I think I've made my point here. Watch out for long-term investments because a lot of people see them. They work right through them. They sit here and they'll trade through Bitcoin all the way through here. They'll do all their trading, and then when Bitcoin starts running up to $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, they're like, crap. I was sitting down here for a bunch of months being all sad and everything, sad that the Bitcoin bear market and accumulation phase was going on, and I didn't think to buy 10 Bitcoin or whatever I had. And then they wish they had because they could have made $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $1 million, however much money there was to make based on your initial investment and the return. Don't be that person because I'll be honest, guys, I've learned this and a lot of people have learned this also. The sting of regret is almost worse than the feeling of losing money on a bad investment. It really is. Replay that because that's important. You don't want to live a life full of regret. That's one of my main goals in life is to live a life that I can look back on when I'm old and gray and 80 years old and say, you know what? I may not have made all the right decisions, but at least I don't have a bunch of regrets. That's how I try to live. Maybe that's something you guys will get value out of. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I do want to thank each and every single one of you for watching as always. There is something I want to talk about before the video ends, and that is that the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy is going to have 5 new videos coming out for it again, starting on Monday, guys. I'm going to launch one video every single day, and there is going to be a discount on the course. So if you're thinking about getting on into the course, feel free to go ahead and get in the course without the discount, but if you want to wait, there will be a discount on the course starting on Monday and ending on Friday, so prepare to get into the course. If you're not already familiar with CT2A, go ahead and click the link in the description down below. Currently, we have 6 hours of content in over 20 videos. That's going to increase to about 7.5 hours of content with about 25 videos over the next week or so, so watch out for that, guys. A very good product. We'll be talking about more of that when the time comes. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, drop a like. Tell me in the comments comment section down below what you think about today's concept. Do you think it's very important for people to be investing? And do you think now is a great time to be doing some long-term investing for the next couple of years when Bitcoin starts running to and beyond $20,000? As always, guys, I'm interested to hear your opinions in the comment section down below. But anyway, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. I do want to thank each and every single one of you for watching as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.